My mom has also the same tattoo. What's tattoo?
The chandeliers throw diamonds across marble. Manhattan hums like money learned how to breathe. In the VIP corner, a billionaire scrolls through his phone, the glow catching a tattoo on his wrist, a compass rose, one date etched beneath. June 14, 2000. A young waitress steps in, tray shaking just a little. "Excuse me, sir." He barely looks up. But when she says, "My mom has the exact same tattoo," the crystal shatters literally. A champagne flute slips, explodes on the floor, and every head in the room turns. "Your mother's name?" he asks. Elena Carter." His face drains. "She told me she miscarried." The girl swallows. "I'm 25. If you want to know how a simple tattoo cracked open a billionaire's past and revealed a daughter he never knew, don't blink." Sophie Carter, 25, wakes before dawn
Sir,
in Washington
my mom
Heights.
also have the same tattoo. What
Ceiling
does it mean?
stain shaped like a map, she never gets to travel. Two uniforms hang on a nail, diner mornings, fine dining nights. She works both. She always works both. In the next room, a cough, deep, stubborn, steals oxygen from the air. Elena, her mother, once wildfire and auburn hair, now thin as paper, warmth still fighting through. "Mom, you good?" "I'm fine, baby, go." "You'll be late." Rent's $1,400, inhalers, generic meds, noodles again. Numbers don't bend for love, love bends for numbers until it snaps. Sophie's dropped out of community college. Dreams shelved like library books nobody checked out. She kisses her mother's forehead. "Tonight's the Azure Room, big shot event, tips might be decent." Elena's fingers drift to her faded tattoo, that same compass, that same date. When asked, she always said, "Back when I believed in fairy tales."
Sir,
Cut to Hunt
my mom also
Financial
have the same
Tower,
tattoo. What does it mean?
47th floor. Alexander Hunt, 45, a man whose calendar has a personal trainer but no real friends. Armani suit, Empire glare. He straightens a cuff and the ink peeks out, the compass, the date, the promise that never learned how to die. He whispers a name he hasn't said out loud in years. "Elena." He heads to the Azure Room to celebrate a $400 million merger. Dry another trophy. Another empty room. Night falls. The restaurant glitters like a secret you can't afford. Sophie slips through the current, invisible on purpose. VIP ropes lift. She's assigned to his booth. Brandon, the smug younger deal guy, smirks. "You know how much money's on this table, sweetheart?" Sophie keeps her voice neutral. "I know how to carry 3 champagne flutes without dropping one. We all got talents." Little laugh from the bar. Alexander doesn't join the joke. He doesn't look at her, not yet.
Sir,
Plates, signatures.
my mom also have the same
Smoke
tattoo.
from
What does it
cigars
mean?
no one's allowed to light. Then he rolls up his sleeve and fate decides to stop whispering. The tattoo flashes. The date brands her memory. June 14, 2000. Mama's date, Mama's story. Mama's ache that never left the room. She moves toward his table like the floor might break. "Sir, I'm sorry to interrupt, but my mom has that same tattoo, same date." Glass shatters, hush. Alexander's hand slips. The room freezes. "What did you say?" "Elena Carter, Columbia. She said the guy she loved disappeared." Alexander's voice becomes a prayer that forgot its church. "She told me we lost the baby." "Sophie, sir, I'm 25. The world tilts. Choice arrives, it has his eyes. Car door thud, rainy tires on asphalt. He asks for her mother's address. Sophie's boss tries to stop it. Money changes hands. The boss quits trying. The black Mercedes cuts across the
Sir,
city like a thought you
my mom
can't
also have the same
unthink.
tattoo. What does
In
it
the
mean?
back seat, silence sits between them, big as Manhattan. What's she like? He finally asks. Sophie stares out at laundromat neon, tough, kind. She'd work 3 jobs, then help me with homework like it paid overtime. She was like that back then, he says. Smarter than me, better than me. I was a kid who panicked and listened to his father instead of his own heart. That's on me, no excuse. 5-story walk-up, no elevator. Life doesn't offer escalators to the poor, they climb. On the landing, Mrs. Rodriguez says hi. Sophie carries her groceries because kindness has muscle memory. At the door, Alexander stops. Lo, no matter what happens, I'm paying for her care. I'm not bargaining for a family. I just can't fail her again. Sophie nods. She wants to believe him. That want hurts. They step in. A small space heavy with the sound of someone fighting to breathe. Elena sits up, sees him, time
Sir,
folds.
my mom
1,000
also have the same
unsent
tattoo. What does
letters
it
crowd
mean?
the room. No, she whispers. Alex, it is not a happy reunion, Elena. You gave me money to end the pregnancy. I chose my daughter instead, and I left because I didn't need your father buying my silence. Alexander, you told me she was gone. I spent months searching. Then I told myself you'd moved on. I built a life to drown out the guilt. It never worked. Sophie stands between past and present, shaking. Stop, she's sick. We don't need a courtroom. We need a doctor. Alexander pulls out his phone. Name, hospital, specialist. Dr. Reeves, Mount Sinai. We can't. I can, he says, and for once a rich man's promise lands like a fact. Next day, white corridors, antiseptic air, hope you don't dare touch. Tests. Scans, waiting with bad coffee. Dr. Reeves, kind eyes, steady hands. It's not cancer. Severe chronic bronchitis, early pneumonia, malnutrition,
Sir,
extreme stress.
my mom also have the
Treatable.
same tattoo. What does
Elena
it mean?
breaks, Sophie breaks. Even Alexander wipes his eyes like he's not used to tears having rights. The plan. Antibiotics and inhaler, nutrition, rest, 8 weeks minimum. Elena bristles. I'll lose my job, Alexander. You almost lost your life. He sets up coverage for rent, food, meds. Elena says no, pride barks, Sophie. Mom, say yes, she whispers. Okay, weeks pass. The cough calms, color returns. Sophie still works doubles. Guilt doesn't clock out just because money arrived. Alexander shows up for appointments, sits in the cheap chairs, learns to listen without fixing. It's new for him, it shows. One night in Tribeca, his penthouse glows like a spacecraft. He invites Sophie not for fancy, for truth. On the table, photo albums, his life in pages, deals, parties, empty smiles. Then a worn album, him and Elena, kids, ink fresh, joy
Sir,
reckless.
my
I
mom
traded
also have the
this,
same
he
tattoo. What does
says,
it
for a
mean?
version of success that can't hold me. He slides an envelope, NYU re-enrollment, expenses covered. Sophie stiffens. You trying to buy forgiveness? He shakes his head. Can't be bought. This is for you, whether I'm in your life or not. She pockets the letter like it's both anchor and balloon. I'll think about it. Take your time, he says. This time, I'm not going anywhere. Spring at Mount Sinai. Dr. Reeves smiles, full recovery. The word clear rolls through the room like sunlight. They celebrate at a small Italian place with checkered tablecloths and a waiter who calls everyone hun. No champagne waterfalls. Just water with lemon and relief. Elena's hands don't shake anymore. I need to tell the truth, she says, voice steady. Alex, what you did at 20 was wrong. What I did after was also wrong. I lied. I cut you out. I told myself I was protecting Sophie, but I was protecting my own broken
Sir,
pride.
my mom also have the
Alexander
same
nods,
tattoo. What does it
gutted
mean?
and grateful. I would have failed as a father back then. I was busy trying to be my dad's idea of a man, doesn't excuse it. Just truth, Sophie listens, eyes bright but clear. I've been angry at both of you. Alina reaches for her hand. You get to be and you get to heal. Alexander lines in. Let me ask for something I don't deserve, a chance to show up, not as a checkbook, as a dad if you'll let me try. Small smile, we'll see, Sophie says. Start with Thursdays, coffee, no mergers, no pep talks. Just be real, deal. Brandon, the smug guy from the merger, texts Alexander, optics would be better if you distanced yourself from that situation. Alexander blocks his number. Some mergers aren't worth saving. Sophie re-enrolls at NYU. First week is chaos, book lists, bursar lines, a professor who grades like a storm cloud. But she raises her hand and remembers she has a voice.
Sir,
She tutors
my mom
at
also
night,
have the same
4
tattoo. What does it
plus up
mean?
to A, collect small wins like seashells. Therapy for all three becomes part of the story. Alina learns that strength isn't silence. Alexander learns love isn't a performance. Sophie learns caregiving and dreaming can coexist. Yeah, it's messy, that's life, it still counts. Then a scare, a fever, a collapse, a late-night ambulance ride. Alina's fine within hours, but fears return like old debts. In the hospital hallway, Sophie cracks. I can't lose you. Alina cups her face. You won't, and even if one day you do, you won't be alone again. You hear me, you won't. Alexander stands back, not center stage, until Sophie reaches for his hand without looking. He squeezes once. No speeches, just presence. That's new, that's big. Summer, a small community center in the Bronx, folding chairs, fluorescent lights. A banner that reads, the Elena Carter Foundation, Healthcare and Scholarships
Sir,
for Working Families.
my mom also have the same tattoo. What does it mean?
Voice steady. 6 months ago, I was working 70 hours a week, watching my mom fade because we couldn't afford to keep her breathing. Then a tattoo started a conversation we should have had years ago. Today, we get to turn our pain into a plan. Applause, tears, sign-ups, care coordinators, partnerships with hospitals and colleges, real, not performative. After a young mother grabs Alexander's hand. My kids' asthma meds. You folks covered them, thank you. He gestures at Sophie and Alina. Thank them, I'm just the guy who finally figured out what money is for. A side half smile took me long enough. Time moves the way healing does, uneven, forward anyway. 1 year later, campus lawn, purple flags, NYU graduation, Sophie in cap and gown, diploma a promise she kept to herself. Alina healthy, cheeks round with joy, Alexander clapping like he invented hands.
Sir,
Call for a speech.
my mom also have the same tattoo. What does it mean?
Okay, fine. 2 years ago, I thought my life was just bills and worry. Then a tattoo broke the lock on a story. I found my father. We found each other. My mother found rest. And I found out hope isn't magic. It's ordinary people choosing each other on purpose. She glances at them both. We're not perfect. We're us. That's enough. 5 years later, a bright classroom in Harlem. Fourth graders and wild imagination. On the board, every story is a toolbox. Miss Carter asks, what's one small thing that can change everything? A kid shouts, a good wrench, she grins. Facts. Also a conversation. That night, dinner at Alina's apartment, the new one with sunlight and no leaks. They raise glasses of iced tea. To tattoos, Alina says. To telling the truth, Alexander adds. To second chances, Sophie finishes. The city hums below. Somewhere a girl clocks in.
Sir,
Double and decides.
my mom also have the same tattoo. What does it mean?
Somewhere a man with a perfect view puts down his phone and picks up a phone call that matters. And somewhere a mother finally sleeps through the night. Because sometimes the smallest mark points you home. Because wealth isn't power, love is. Because families break and then sometimes they build something better with the pieces.